Hello, I'm Sharon Scott Wilson. I'm publisher of Resort Trades magazine. We have a monthly publication that goes to all the timeshare and vacation ownership professionals in the U.S., as well as a weekly e-newsletter. So go to resorttrades.com and subscribe, if you would, to our weekly e-newsletter. Would appreciate it. Now, today we have Michelle DuChamp, and Michelle is with Vacatia. And welcome, Michelle. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Sharon. Thanks so much for having me. Great to see you as always, and great to see you last week at the gnex Canadian Resort Travel Conference last week.
Yes, it was very informative. I enjoyed it a lot, and I love the parties.
Yeah, there might have been some bull riding that happened.
Oh yeah, you were a hero, and I have it on video. All right. Well, start with our first question, which it's not exactly a question, but navigating economic insecurity and vacation ownership. What do you find is a prevalent theme along these lines?
You know, it's an interesting topic because a lot is changing, just in the world in general, but people are still taking vacations. So, that's just part of life, right? Is taking vacations. And so it's really trying to meet what are those needs of travelers and what are they looking for in their vacation. So, we have an active selling operation that is still running strong. We're having tours. We're selling through the old traditional ways of timeshare where, it's come in, take a tour and listen in. I think where the opportunities really lie are continuously looking at how do you evolve the product to meet the ever-changing needs of who that consumer is. Because everybody goes through different life cycle changes as well, where they are from a financial stability standpoint, where they are from, family and kids. And what do they need? So it's a combination of really their demographics as well as their economic considerations that really go into play. We're also seeing some strength just in what do you offer the owners in this value proposition, and reinforcing that kind of helps to take away from some of that uncertainty that's out there. If they know that they have that vacation home to go to, they know what to expect when they get there. If they can't go, there's other things they can do with that time, whether it be exchange it or rent it. And we're seeing just strength even in just renting the excess inventory at resorts as well. So I think travel patterns are going well. There is a little bit of softening in certain markets. You're kind of going through a cycle, which we see over time, where, after COVID, you had a lot of COVID revenge travel. Where rentals were off the charts and everything. You've seen that ratchet back a little, but you still have strong travel. Airlines, airfares are starting to creep back up. So that makes people take a step back to how they travel. So you really just kind of have to marry in with those different things out there in the travel patterns as you navigate this. But I think vacation ownership is going to remain strong. It just has to continue to evolve with what customers want is the biggest thing.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Now, we had my next question, non-question is Vacatia's secret sauce. So can you explain that?
Absolutely. So we definitely have a secret sauce, and a lot of it is in our approach. We take a hospitality first approach in everything we do. And we know that no two resorts are the same. And so you really have to look at what does each individual resort need? And there is a balance out there. Every resort has the same challenges. You need owners to pay maintenance fees and dues to support the operating costs of the resort. And when you don't have all of those owners paying, then you've got excess inventory, which is your main asset that you need to try to monetize. And there's a balance between rentals and sales. And each resort's a little different, but each resort has a combination of those. And we like to look at it as all of that kind of being interrelated. If you introduce the product to someone on a rental basis, you have the opportunity through that hospitality approach to make them a repeat renter, make them a return guest, maybe they buy in for some sort of trial product that you offer or a short-term right to use product, or maybe they become a full-fledged owner. But keeping them in the wheel with the resort is really kind of key. And it can come in all flavors, whether it's the rental that turns into an owner, or whether it's that owner that maybe wants a short-term opportunity versus a deeded in perpetuity. So our secret sauce is really kind of looking at what is the right mix for that particular resort. Because we like to kind of say that, no resort is the same. Every resort's a snowflake. No one is the same.
So true. Very true. Growth opportunities in the resort industry.
So, I was on the exchange side working with Interval International for a lot of years. And back then was when you actually had a lot of entrepreneurial people in the industry that were coming in and trying to develop and build timeshare resorts specifically, or mixed use opportunities. That's really changed across really the last decade, where you don't really see a lot of new resort developers coming into the fold saying, I want to build a brand new timeshare resort from scratch. There are a few out there, and they do come into play. So there is some growth. I think a lot of what anyone looking to come into the industry has to look at is, what are you offering to the customer? Because customers are very different now. The internet makes things very transparent. So you have to pay attention to that, into how does your product appeal to different ages of customers. You look at the generations today, they don't want to own anything. They don't own cars. They don't own homes. So why would they want to own a vacation in perpetuity? So I think the growth opportunities are really in looking at how do you create a flexible product that meets the different needs of the various life stages that a customer is going through. And I think you're also seeing a big focus out there in the industry, and I love that the industry is going more this way, is with experiences. People love experiences. Show them something new. Do the hard work for them to introduce them to something that they might not think of on their own and do. And I think you're seeing a lot of companies in the industry really putting value into the fact that people are not just looking at, hey, I have a condo to go stay in that has a kitchen facility. Now there's experiences that go along with that my timeshare family is introducing me to, which is great to see.
I hate to admit it, but I get AARP magazine. But they
Your secret's safe with me.
Thank you. But they had an article on retirees. The first thing they want to do is travel. And they mentioned they are looking for experiential vacations. And I thought, wow, what an opportunity for the timeshare world, because these people have had a history of being homeowners and would understand the value of having a resort that is more or less theirs, or at least the points to get to where they want to go. So, anyway.
It's such an interesting way to look at it too, because if you think about it, people who are in the retirement stage of life, which I hope everybody gets there as soon as they can, so they can actually enjoy life and travel. But you have time. Then you have the one asset that when you're working and in your career and growing, you don't have that. So when you're retired, you have time. You may or may not have some fixed income limitations, which then that makes the timeshare product even better. I attend a lot of our resort annual meetings and board meetings, and I love talking to the owners that attend. And it is so interesting how some of them have just seen this product as how they see the world. And if they're retired, they're flexible on when they can go. They're open to where they can go. They leverage the benefits that their timeshare gives them, such as joining an exchange company, which then lets them go places other than their just owned resort. They're able to travel around. Both exchange companies have then, discounted last minute vacations that you can take, where you can even go on places for even a more inexpensive additional vacation. So I love seeing owners that actually see the value proposition. And I think one of our big growth opportunities in the industry too, is how do you educate the next generation consumer whose parents are owners of a deeded product and had the benefit of learning about everything they could do with their week because they went through a traditional sales presentation, but their kids that could have the week available to them don't go through that. So I think it's our job as an industry to educate them on the value proposition. Just because your parents own a week in XYZ place and you as a kid don't want to go to that place because you went there your whole time growing up, well, great. There's actually the ability to not just have to go there. The timeshare gives you a vehicle to go and explore other areas. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to educate people on. It's not just owning at one particular resort. You actually truly do have the opportunity to own the world if you leverage the benefits that are out there for you.
Absolutely. So this is a message that maybe you and I can circle back at some point and discuss further. I'd love to get maybe some interviews with those owners or, snippets of them saying what their experiences have been. I think would help promote interest.
I'd love to put you in touch with them. And one of the things that Vacatia is truly looking at is how do you capture what people love about their timeshare and then expound on that, and how do you make sure that they know how to use what they own?
Oh yeah,
because that's a lot of times the challenge is that they don't actually know or remember all of the benefits that are available to them and all the ways they can actually leverage what they own.
Maybe somebody needs to put together a children's book, page by cardboard page.
Have you pop up on each page in a different location?
Right. And do you know about this?
Right.
Strengthening independent resorts through partnerships, which you guys have really come out strong on.
We have, and it's it's been great. The partnerships, the one thing that I say, I attend a lot of conferences and have the opportunity to speak at some of them to different attendee groups. And one of the things that I always try to stress is that they should leverage the resources that are out there in the industry for them, for whatever their resort needs. Board members, they've got a tough job. They're running basically a small business and not getting paid for it, right? It's the best
right.
non-paying job in the world, right? So
let me interrupt 1 minute because Resort Trades does have this section of resources in the back full of providers of various services which resort professionals could use and HOA managers.
Exactly. And I think that's great that you actually feature those. And, it doesn't hurt for somebody to have a conversation and see if an entity can or can't help them. Right. Maybe they can, maybe they just give a little nugget of information of something they hadn't thought of. So I think, partnerships, whether it's a resort uses a professional management company, whether they just use ancillary services like a collections agency or, a receivables funding facility, anything like that. There's tools out there and available to them to leverage. And so I encourage everyone to always just knowledge is power. So the more you can learn and visit with people, I think the better. From just strengthening through partnerships, one of the things we've been able to do. So, we've had an exciting kind of path during 2025 where we acquired Berkeley Group and Daily Management, which was, one of the last two largest independent developers in the industry. And so Vacatia acquired those companies the beginning of the year. And that helped to also strengthen, solidify partnerships that those organizations had that could be leveraged across now the larger Vacatia enterprise. So things like, mortgage programs, deed-back services, how to expedite and navigate the foreclosure process, which is very costly in a lot of states. So understanding how to better do that. And then on the flip side, and on a positive for the resorts that we work with, is that our buying power is now $20.5 billion in the industry. So it's an advantage that can be leveraged in everyday activities of resorts, to where, now the buying of toilet paper could actually have savings related to it. And we've seen savings on an average of just 10 to 15% property savings just in the time we've been doing it today, just through these partnerships and buying services and strategic initiatives that we're able to bring and offer to resorts out there.
Oh, that's terrific. That's really an unseen advantage.
Definitely.
Okay, role of technology in shaping future guest and owner experiences.
Well, so what a lot of people don't know is Vacatia has actually been around, and we started in the industry back in 2013 as a technology solutions provider to the industry, where the founding members, of which our CEO today was on that founding team, Caroline Shin, and we were looking at what are the challenges that resorts are facing in the industry that we could help with, and use technology as a tool to augment what's needed, definitely not replace. We don't think you can ever fully replace that human factor, right? That's the part that makes a vacation special, are the humans. So we started out, we built a resale platform, we built a rental platform. We're fortunate to have those utilized by large brand name companies, Disney on the resale side, on the rental side, companies such as Westgate, Wyndham, Travel and Leisure use the rental platform. So we plug into about 700 partners there. So technology was very key and core to our infancy as a company and as we grew. And so you could say it's definitely still in our DNA in everything that we look to move forward with. And so when we got into property management at the end of 2019, technology was a key part. We already had the solutions for the resales and the rentals. And so we were able to now build and refine that property management system that can do everything from modernizing the reservation system, making it more user-friendly for staff, which, anyone in the resort world knows that, you have some positions in certain markets that are just consistently turning over, like front desk, for example. And if you have a program that they have to learn that takes weeks for them to learn, takes a long time for you to get your value out of them, especially if they leave a month or two later, versus if you have a program and a platform that's more user-friendly and intuitive, our training is about 1 to 3 days and they're ready to go. So it allows you to see productivity out of that person a lot quicker. So that's definitely a key. And then how we've integrated to where everything talks to each other, from the reservations to the owner contact management, and knowing everything you want to know about that owner, from what do they own, what are their usage rights, have they paid their maintenance fees, all of those things. And then having that fully integrated into owner portal, and where they can go online and pay their maintenance fees. When we look at the guest and the owner experience, owners being able to have a portal to go to pay maintenance fees, make it easy for them to see the status of their account, make it easy for them to, what do I want to do with my week this year? Am I coming? Do I want to exchange it? Do I want to rent it? Do I want to send my sister to it? Allowing them to easily service that through technology, as opposed to just having the option of calling in, which, we still offer that too. So again, technology to augment, not replace.
Some of my fellow AARP appreciate it.
Yep, you got to have both. You need to communicate with people the way they want to be communicated with. Absolutely.
Right.
And then last, on really the owner and guest experience, one of the things that we've introduced also is that streamlines the check-in process, is you can register online. You can go ahead and do all those check-in tasks online. Similarly to what a lot of hotel chains are doing today, where you can check yourself in before you get there. So taking like some of that, going ahead and registering your vehicle, so we know what car is there. So when you check in, we're like, great, we have all your information, including a picture of your picture ID, which we need on file, proving that you're you, and then be able to give you your check-in packet and get you on your way to your vacation, as opposed to you waiting in line through a long, lengthy check-in process.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
I can talk about tech for hours, Sharon.
And I really appreciate your time, Michelle. This has been very interesting to me. I think what I will get from you are any stats, and we'll put a PDF of those in the description under the YouTube visual. And is there anything you care to add?
Sure. I think just, on kind of a final note, Vacatia's passion is the independent resort space. And so when you look at how we've grown as a company, that has always been the focus. We had a huge growth spurt with the acquisition of Berkeley and Daly earlier this year, but it really presented a lot of opportunity for how can you structure a very strong company to help grow independence into the future and help them navigate the challenges that a lot of them face, from aging of the resort to aging out of owners to financial needs and challenges of older properties through renovations, et cetera, through increased costs that they can't control with insurance and labor and things like that, and really using tools to help them. It's been a fun ride through all this process, and the independence, I really do feel, just even from my interval days, are what the industry was built on, and they are what has character in this industry. And our goal is to try to help those resorts that are sustainable to maintain that character and that owner unique quality for as long as we can. And we do that through using all of our services, or we realize that, again, not everybody needs the Cadillac. Sometimes you just need the Volkswagen, or you just need things off of the, a la carte Chinese menu, if you want to say it that way, to where, you don't have to use us for everything, but there might be little nuggets that we can help with. And if you like those, then maybe you decide that there's some more that you'd work with in the future.
Certainly you're on the road a lot, but what's your favorite means of communication?
My favorite means of communication, boy, that's a double-edged sword. My favorite means of communication is try me every way you can, because it's not that I don't want to talk to you. I think that's the best thing. Best communication is usually through email, or quite frankly, my phone number's out there in all the advertisements we do. I'm Michelle at vacatia.com is my email address, Michelle with 2 L's. And then from a phone number standpoint, it's 305-903-9399. That's my direct phone line. Anybody can feel free to text or call me. As you mentioned, Sharon, I am on an airplane a lot, so I might not be able to pick up the phone right away or answer right away, but I do get back to people.
Oh, that's wonderful. I can attest to that. And I must add, it's such a pleasure to have known you over the years and to see you doing such a great job, as you always have done. Even when you were with Interval, I think I met you back around 92 or 93.
You're aging me, Sharon.
It
wasn't that early. You didn't
meet me. AARP.
Yeah, you didn't meet me until the late 90s. It was the late 90s.
Okay, I feel better. Well, I don't know why I feel better.
Me too. But no, and you know what? We appreciate everything that Resort Trades does for the industry. I think information is a very powerful tool for owners and boards, as well as on-site teams to use and leverage. So really appreciate the way that you've stayed on top of that and ultimately try to let people know what companies are out there that can help them, because I think it's critical. And especially as you do have more and more resorts that have been around for now 30 and 40 years. It's a different way to look at your business than when you were in the heyday of everything's brand new and shiny.
I know. And Greg Shepard pointed out when we were at the gnex-crta meeting that I said, oh, we've been in the business for 30 years. No, we've been in the business almost 40 years. So that makes me feel older too.
Well, I mean, you started when you were just, still playing on the
I was so young.
Exactly. So young.
That's right. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Appreciate the time. And thank you very much, Sharon. Very much appreciate it. It's always great to talk with you.
Oh, thank you. You too.